Hello, I'm Muratakazu. When you hear the term multi-skilled worker, what kind of image comes to mind? Someone who can handle anything on site. That's probably the image, right? In reality, it's not quite that simple. This job came from a customer we had worked with before. Their washing machine had leaked and the laundry room floor had started peeling up. There was a chance the damage had reached under the floor, so this was not just a simple flooring replacement. They wanted me to check it properly from a carpenter's point of view. First, the two of us carried the washing machine outside. Apparently, this washing machine was only a few years old. By the time they noticed the leak, the floor had already taken quite a bit of damage. They contacted the manufacturer, but repair was apparently difficult. Before the new washing machine arrives, we will repair the laundry room. This time, we are also replacing the vanity unit. Normally, the work would go in order: carpenter, plumber, interior finisher, plumber, then carpenter again. But asking each tradesperson to come in for just a short part of the job and lining up the schedule is actually pretty difficult. It would be fine if we had plenty of time, but this time I want to finish it in 2 days. And the timing just did not line up with the other trades. Since the main job is repairing the floor damaged by the leak, I will handle the whole process myself as a multi-skilled worker. I had not shut off the valve on the EcoCute, so the hot water stored in the tank came shooting out. Unlike a gas water heater, an EcoCute stores hot water using electricity. For the hot water side, this valve also needed to be shut off. I shut off the EcoCute valve and checked the water meter as well. Next, I tried to remove the shutoff valve on the right side for the cold water, but the main valve is shut off. But water is still coming out like crazy. Apparently, the cause was deterioration of the valve on the supply side, toward the road. If I had removed the shutoff valve under the vanity, the whole house could have been flooded. The section from the meter toward the road belongs to the water department, so we cannot repair that valve ourselves. So I contacted the water department and had them take care of it. But we cannot just stop the job. Since I cannot remove the water lines, I cut the back panel and removed the vanity unit. An unexpected loss of time. I honestly regretted not forcing the schedule a bit and asking our usual plumber to come. the water department arrived. They came in calm as ever, fixed it in no time, and left just as quickly. They replaced the valve with a new one. This whole chaotic sequence is something a professional plumber probably could not have given you. That is Murata Kazu for you. He knows exactly how to create a highlight. Now we reset and move on to repairing the floor. The floor is quite damp. I leave the lower plywood undamaged and cut only the damaged top flooring with a circular saw. But even if I leave the lower subfloor plywood, I still have to decide how much of the top flooring to remove. Basically, removing a double layer floor comes with a lot of risk. Honestly, I do not really recommend it. Modern houses use strong adhesive, so peeling the floor up cleanly is very difficult. It might be quicker to replace only the damaged areas, patch them with filler, and lay cushion flooring over the top. I remove the baseboards. Since we are leaving the wallpaper as it is, I would prefer to keep the baseboards too. But I cannot do the job halfway like that, so I remove the baseboards and peel the floor up properly. I tilt the circular saw blade in the opposite angle and cut right along the wall. Removing only the top flooring while leaving the subfloor plywood is not easy. This is an area I do not want to force apart too much. To keep the door sill from becoming loose later, I will cut this section about 30 mm away from it. My abs cramped up. I work carefully so I do not damage the frame or the door sill. When you try to remove only the damaged part, the surrounding area can break apart and end up worse. You are fixing it, but it keeps breaking. That is renovation for you. It took time, but I somehow managed to remove only the top layer of flooring. A double layer floor is strong and reassuring. But when it comes time to replace it, removing it is tough. In the past, flooring was often laid directly over the floor joists. Today, the common method is to lay flooring over plywood subflooring. Older houses were less airtight, but easier to repair. Modern houses are airtight and strong, but repairs are much harder. They are complete opposites. At the very least, modern houses clearly do not seem to be built with future renovation and repair in mind. The thinking is less about repairing with skill and effort, and more about rebuilding. With today's strict airtightness and insulation standards, if a modern house is damaged inside by something like a roof leak, I think repairing it will be very difficult. cut the floor so I can shift the piping position for the vanity unit.
乗ってた排水と違って動揺してる。すごい。
I need to move this drain position over here. But the cold and hot water pipes are in the way, so shifting it is difficult. For a professional plumber, this would probably be easy, but I somehow managed to relocate it. I am using a smartwatch to take photos under the floor. There are a few small stained areas, but the floor base does not seem to be rotten. The piping is okay. The area under the floor also looks fine, so I will close up the holes. Once you open up a floor, it never goes completely back to how it was. Strength and insulation are slightly affected. That is one of the compromises in renovation work. Even so, I bring it as close to the original condition as possible. I use the plywood from the new hole to close up the old hole. The good thing about this expanding foam is that it does not expand too much. It is less likely to ooze out later, so it is really useful for filling gaps like this. I fill the gaps around the drain and correct the angle of the vertical pipe. After about an hour, it will not move anymore. The floor base repair is finished. This time, the floor will be finished with cushion flooring. I lay clean new plywood over the existing plywood. There is no time. I need to hurry. Even for subflooring, I fit it tightly around the frame with no gaps. I measure everything at once and lay 2 sheets together. The first sheet of plywood shifted slightly, so the drain hole on the second sheet shifted a little too. Peel up the floor, shift the pipes, and put the floor back. When you do it properly, it is quite a lot of work. If I just overlaid the floor without removing it, this would be over quickly though. The base for the cushion flooring is ready. I wanted to finish everything in one day. But that morning incident, the unchecked EcoCute shutoff valve and hot water blast, really took its toll. The next day, first thing in the morning, I get straight to laying the cushion flooring. This was the step I had wanted to finish the day before. Next, I install the baseboards. I make 2 holes in the back of the vanity unit for the shutoff valves. Next, I make the hole for the drain. Now it is finally time to install the vanity unit. I messed up for the second time. The hole position ended up slightly off. Here, I decided to get through it with my reliable blank-faced acting skills. I installed the mirror cabinet. First, I drill the screw holes in the proper position. Then I take it off once. I install the drywall anchors. Professional plumbers do this alone. That is impressive. Finally, I install the baseboards and the job is complete. The entrance to the bathroom is an area where water can easily get in, so I intentionally leave a 2mm gap instead of butting the cushion flooring tight against it. This gives the sealant enough thickness and makes it less likely to split. Washing machine drain pans used to be installed as a matter of course, but this time we are not installing one. Of course, leaks are always a concern, but I think we just have to say the previous one was bad luck. There are still a few days before the new washing machine arrives, so we put the old one back for now. To be safe, I will lay down a blue tarp later and ask them to use it carefully. Carpenters understand the basics of how houses are built, so many of us can handle some work outside pure carpentry. But still, we cannot beat the specialists in their own trades. If there is enough time and budget, the best option is to have each specialist come in. I think multi-skilled workers will become more and more valuable from here on. But this kind of work only works when you have real specialists nearby, and people around you who can support you. Unlike DIY, paid work always comes with responsibility. Overconfidence is dangerous. It took a day and a half, but we managed to repair the floor and replace the vanity unit safely. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.